Legends Limited Platinum Equipment. It's a platinum equipment that buffs a Legends Limited character by increasing their stats and even giving them a buff to their uniques. It benefits that specific Legends Limited character greatly. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta went from one of the most disappointing headline anniversary characters to one of the best characters in the game with his platinum equipment. Same goes for Full Power Frieza, and same goes for Perfect Cell. As far as Super Saiyan 4 Goku though, he's probably the most underrated unit with his platinum equipment. Therefore, I decided to revamp an old video I've done more than half a year ago called My Top 5 Fan-Made Legends Limited Platinum Equipment and make it more modernized. I'll be choosing 5 Legends Limited characters for this video because I want to make this series a mini-series pretty much. So yeah, with that out the way, let's get the video started. Alright, so the 5 LFs that I'm doing for these platinum equipments are LF Vegito Blue, LF UI Goku Sign Omen, however you guys want to call him, LF Gogeta Blue, LF Full Power Broly, and LF Grade 8 Vegeta. So yeah, let's start with Vegito Blue first because I am doing this video as the LF release date order, so Vegito Blue is obviously the oldest one. So LF Vegito Blue Platinum Equipment. The equipment is called Are You Seriously Crying? That is from DBS episode 66 with corrupted Murzamasu versus Vegito Blue. Murzamasu was giving his spiel and then he started crying, and that's when Vegito Blue was like, why are you saying that? Why are you always talking too much? And then he starts crying, and then Vegeta was like, oh, are you seriously crying? What the hell? Like, anyway, slot 1. Base strike defense 12 to 25%, base blast defense 12 to 25%, and base keep recovery 12 to 25%. As you see the parentheses, that's the gold slot, so the gold slot is 22.4%. So yeah, first slot, I think that's standard for a lot of these modern LF platinum equipment. Some of these LF modern platinum equipments get 25 to 35. I know Gogeta 4 has 35%. I believe Cell has 30%, something like that, or 25%. Whatever the case may be, I feel like that's standard. And I'm just also keeping in mind how the Legends team is doing these platinum equipments, and I believe they will do something similar to this, or probably increase it or maybe decrease it, however they want to do it. But I want to keep in mind how the Legends devs is going to do it, as well as try to be realistic with the platinum equipment. So yeah, next slot is slot 2. Base strike attack 10 to 25%, base blast attack 10 to 25%, and inflicted damage 10 to 25%. As you see with the parentheses, 22% for base blast and strike attack is the gold slot, and for inflicted damage it's 18%. So yeah, I could have increased this, but I also want to keep in mind, just in case if Vegito Blue does get a Zenkai, I want to be a little bit more realistic to that matter. So that's why I give him a little bit tiny lower of the damage inflicted. But if not, I mean, I would have increased that higher. But I'm also keeping in mind, like I said, Vegito Blue could get a Zenkai, so that's the reason why I gave slot 2 specifically like that, like the damage implications. Anyway, slot 3. Now, usually with slot 3s is catered to buffing their uniques in that way. So slot 3, it is from the unique I'm tired of listening to you preach. That's what Vegito Blue said. First part is base health 20%, inflicted damage to attack powerful opponent 15%, or base health 20%, inflicted damage to attack powerful opponent 20%, or base health 20%, inflicted damage to powerful opponent 25%, as well as increasing card draw speed by 1 for 5 timer counts, and the counts reset when he switches. So yeah. Now, why I gave that last slot that many buffs? So the thing is with Vegito Blue, right? He has a bunch of, what he really needs for his platinum equipment is damage and a little bit of defense. But as well as, because he already is the Rise and Rush farmer, I kind of want to cater to that a little bit. I know it sounds blasphemous and everything like that, but at the same time though, I feel like the card draw speed by 5 timer counts isn't going to be that crazy in a way, because if you really think about it, when you're doing Vegito Blue combos, he's going to gain straight cards anyway. This pretty much helps him when he has a full-handed blast. So the card draw speed helps him with a full-handed blast, and then when he is drawing strikes by him doing strike cards, is gonna help him really 1 to 2 counts in a way. So he's just getting more extra cards in that combo if he pretty much is using a bunch of strike cards. It's just the card draw speed really helps him with, for some reason, if he has a handful of blasts. So that's my reason why I gave Vegito Blue card draw speed, and that's why I didn't give him more than 5 timer counts, because if I give him more than 5 timer counts, it's going to be utterly broken. he will be the definitive Rise and Rush farmer in a way. And plus, with characters like Kaioken Goku, characters like Ultra Gogeta, characters like the androids, characters like Cell, I feel like this isn't too crazy, and with this platinum equipment is going to help him. I don't know if he will be Z tier. I think he will at least be in the S plus tier, or for Game Press tier, that's the S tier of ranges. So other than that, I think this platinum equipment for Vegito Blue, I think, is really solid. And the bonuses against powerful opponent, so not only he has bonuses against other fusion warriors, he also is getting bonuses against powerful opponent. So characters like the droids, even if they switch into the Android 18 portion of the droids, it will still help him because he's dealing more damage to powerful opponent, and the droids are a powerful opponent. Same thing with the LOE matchup, same thing with Sagas from the Movie matchup, when if they have Bojack is dying easily anyway. So all in all, I think this platinum equipment will benefit Vegito Blue greatly. Like all the platinum equipment is going to benefit all the LF characters, but Vegito Blue, I think he's going to definitely eat well with this platinum equipment. So yeah, now let's go to UI Goku. Alright, so UI Goku's, the platinum equipment is called The Next Attack Shall Finish It. That is from Dragon Ball Super episode 116, K-Fla versus UI Goku Roman, when before he starts doing one of the best Kamehamehas in the series, he said his next attack will finish it. So that's where I got it from, and that's where I got the image from as well. So slot 1, we got base health plus 10% all the way up to 20%. We got base strike defense 20% all the way to 35%, and base blast defense 20% all the way to 35%. And as you see, the gold slot is 18.4 for the base health, and the strike defense and blast defense is 32%. So yeah, now I wanted to make this a little bit more tankier for UI Goku, because obviously one of the biggest flaw of UI Goku is he has no defense. Obviously, if they ever gave him a Zenkai, that will kind of relinquish that matter. Maybe, not really. It all depends on what they give him with his uniques. But for the specific platinum equipment, I just wanted to give him more health, more defense, to help him alleviate some of the trashiness of the defense that he has. But at the same time, though, I think regardless of the fact, he will kind of have not as good of a defense. But like I said, with the platinum equipment, I hope to alleviate the not good defense for UI Goku. So yeah, slot 2, inflicted damage from 10% all the way to 30%, base strike attack from 15% all the way to 30%, and base blast attack from 15% all the way to 30%. As you see, 26.4 for all of them. That will be the gold slot. So it's kind of the same thing with UI Goku initial damage, because he gets a lot of his damage by him staying into the battlefield. Like, he gets his maximum potential after 10 timer counts. Not good, right? As well as in order for him to give out the biggest damage before this platinum equipment, he will have to pop the green card. He will have to stay in the battlefield to have his max potential, as well as giving him Zenkai buffs. But for the second slot, though, it kind of helps out his early game damage, so that way when he gets to his late game damage, he's gonna do a lot of damage in totality. And plus, with his decent enough of his attack stats, it will help him, like I said, alleviate some of the early game damage from this second slot of the platinum equipment, and I think will benefit UI Goku greatly. So now the third slot, it is helping out the unique imperfect instinct. Now this is kind of crazy. Health restoration plus 5% also restores 5% to unique gauge for every 7 timer counts, or health restoration 10% restores 10% to unique gauge every 5 timer counts, or health restoration 15% restores 15% to unique unique gauge for every 3 timer counts. Also, plus 1 to 5% to strike and blast attack for each tag Gaki battle member. Now, when you look at this, right, this is kind of broken because, right, obviously health restoration is crazy for UI Goku because he has his main ability, which gives him a ton of health back. He has his green card, which gives him, I believe, 15% to his health back, as well as Gaki has a lot of health restoration equipments. So the fact that he's getting that, and plus, if for some reason you guys want to run Vados, even though Vados is very prominent in the green yellow setup with Vados, Zenkai Vegeta Blue, and Kaioken Goku, if you run Vados with UI Goku, you're gonna heal so much. So now you're combining that with restoring 15% to unique gauge for every 3 timer counts, which is also kind of crazy, right? Because he starts off at 100% unique gauge. Every time he dodges, he consumes 30, right? And the unique gauge starts lowering little by little for every timer counts, right? Now, if you really think about it, right, let us say between that timer interval, your opponent is literally not doing nothing, and they try to tap blast you to try to bait out your unique gauge, and you're just drifting away. Every 3 timer counts, you're getting 50% back. If you really think about it, every 3 timer counts, you're probably losing about, I would say, I don't know exactly the math, but you're losing about 5% of your unique gauge every 3 timer counts anyway. So if you tally it up, right, your opponent's not doing anything. Technically, for every 10 time or 9 timer counts, you're gaining 45%. So in totality, you're actually getting a free dodge if you really think about it. So him getting a free dodge, pretty good. Every 9 timer counts. So it's really good, and it helps him stay in the battlefield because, like I said, it kind of helps him because of his uniques of him staying in the battlefield, getting his maximum buffs. And plus the 1 to 5% to strike and blast attack for each Gaki battle member helps him, because even if you run him in the USS setup, as for now, of the time I'm recording this video, you have Beerus, you have Kaioken Goku, you have Evolution Blue Vegeta, part of the USS. Not only that, I believe this year MUI Goku is coming out. So, and as well as there's other Gaki characters in the Tournament of Power. Got Goku, other versions of Evolution Blue Vegeta. You know they're gonna come out with another UI sign Goku, as well as probably a transforming UI sign Goku into Ultra Instinct Goku, or MUI Goku I should say. So there's a lot of characters in that Tournament of Power that has Gaki. So either way, you're good on that, and obviously Gaki is Gaki. So I think this platinum equipment for Ultra Instinct Goku is very good. And honestly, it helps him a lot, and I mean a lot. So yeah, now with that being said, let's go with Broly. Alright, so Broly, the platinum equipment is called Hua. I can't do the voice. I don't want to break my vocal cords. Anyway, slot 1, base strike defense plus 10 to 25%, base blast defense from 10 to 25%, and health restoration plus 8 to 15%, and the gold slot is 22.4% for the strike and blast defense, and the health restoration gold slot is 12.6. so yeah, now obviously defense, Broly needs it because his defense is also like a wet noodle kinda. And also, right, the health restoration, right, that helps him a lot, because obviously main ability, and as well as every time your enemy switches, he's getting health, right? So not only he's getting vanish, he's also getting health, so he's gonna heal a lot more. And plus, I believe also Broly's, there's certain equipment for sagas from movies and Saiyans that gives health restoration. I might be wrong on that, but if it does, It also helps him with the switch buffs that every time the enemy switches, he's healing. So that's very, very good for Broly, in my opinion. So yeah, slot 2. Base strike attack, 10 to 25%. Base blast attack, 10 to 25%. And base keep recovery, 12 to 25%. So yeah, all of them are 22.4 for the gold slot. Now, standard base strike attack and base blast attack. But the key recovery helps him a lot because as well, enemy switches, he gains card draw speed. Green card, he gains card draw speed. And he doesn't have a lot of ways to gain key anyway. So with the key recovery part of the platinum equipment, it will help him a lot, especially when he's doing a lot of combos. It will give him, I believe, an extra 2 cards. And if I'm calculating everything correctly, it will give him an extra 1 to 2 cards upon the massive long combos that he's probably going to do anyway. So that being said, I think this is a very good slot 2 for Broly, and let's move on to slot 3. Now, I think this is kind of crazy. Plus 3% to damage inflicted every time this character uses an arts card, cannot be cancelled. Or plus 4% to damage inflicted every time this character uses an arts card, cannot be cancelled. Or plus 5% to damage inflicted every time this character uses an arts card, cannot be cancelled, as well as minus 5 to all arts card costs. Now, this is part of the meteoric progress for his unique, and this is kind of crazy, right? Because not only is it uncancelable, it's also permanent. Now, if you see what full power Broly's uniques, he has similar to that, but he only has it for 10 tyrant counts. The problem with Broly is when you're facing against even a decent player, they will know Broly's kit, so they're gonna know not to switch crazy on it. And that's the problem with Broly, is Broly doesn't have he doesn't have good early game damage at all. So this helps him in a way, even though obviously it's a process, you gotta use a bunch of arts costs anyway. It's gonna help him with the early game anyway, because you could use green card, you could use straight cancels anyway, and maybe you could blast card, hopefully don't get perfect vanish off of that. And all in all, if you really think about it, let's just say you strike cancel twice, right? That's already 10%. Cannot be canceled, and it's stacking. You bait out, use a blast card to bait out their vanish. That's 15% right there. You green card to see what they're doing now. That's 20%. Now you vanish, and then now you start a brand new combo, and you have card draw speed. They're probably gonna switch once to make sure you don't damage their unit, or if they're not, they're probably gonna stay in. And all in all, that just builds up and builds up and builds up. So now when you're entering mid game, you're gonna be very, very, very strong in terms of offensive prowess for this Broly. So I think all in all, this third unique is kind of crazy for Broly, and because of his decent strike attack stat, he's gonna deal a ton of damage, and he is gonna ramp up like crazy. And like I said, this uncancelable, and also it's permanent. So I think this is a very, very, very good slot 3 for Broly, and this will kind of make him an S plus tier in Super Saiyans, because you're gonna run him in Super Saiyans anyway. So will he replace Ultra Gogeta? I don't know, probably not, right? Because of everything Ultra Gogeta does. But you could run a mono blue team. Obviously, honestly, you could really run a mono blue team with this Broly, and boom, you're just set. You're just set. Honestly, with this fight equipment, yeah, you are gonna run a mono blue team. Bar this Broly and Ultra Gogeta, oh, that will be a deadly combination of the 3, and you're gonna just deal crazy amount of damage with this Broly if he gets this type of elephant equipment. So yeah, now let's go with Gogeta Blue. Alright, so Gogeta Blue Platinum equipment, the name is called Hehe, and that's what he did to Broly in Dragonball Super Broly. Same thing with Broly's platinum equipment, that he also did in Dragonball Super Broly film. So anyway, slot 1, Base strike defense plus 15 to 30%, base blast defense 15 to 30%, and health restoration 8 to 15%. Strike and blast defense is 26.4% for the gold slot, and for the gold slot for health restoration is 12.4. So yeah. Now obviously standard defense for the LF Platinum equipments, but also the health restoration is kind of crazy for Gogeta because every time he comes into the battlefield, he heals 10%. So that's just an additional healing that he's gonna have for him. Same thing with his main ability. He heals a lot with his main ability, so that's just adding more healing for Gogeta Blue. So I think that's pretty good for a first slot. So now slot 2, base strike attack plus 15% to 30%, base blast attack plus 15 to 30%, and base health plus 10 to 20%. And instead of saying 12, I should be saying 26.4% for the gold slot for both strike and blast attack, and the gold slot for base health is 18.4. So another good thing for Gogeta Blue, because another thing about Gogeta Blue is same thing with Broly. He needs to ramp up a little bit for max potential, for max damage. So giving him a higher strike and blast attack for his base is actually really good for Gogeta Blue, and also the base health, which is giving him more tanking potential. So yeah. Now the third slot is for catering one of the unique, which is called Ultimate Fusion. This is kind of crazy because this is what he needs. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. He's gonna gain card draw speed by 1 for 3 timer counts, or card draw speed by 1 for 5 timer counts, which all of them cannot be canceled. And the last one is increase card draw speed by 1 for 10 timer counts, cannot be canceled, and inflicted damage 20%. Now, obviously, you want the last slot. You want the third slot to be the maximum one. Because it not only is giving card draw speed for 10 timer counts when he enters the battle, which cannot be cancelled, also is giving him inflicted damage 20%. Just like that. I think for Gogeta Blue, this is the perfect equipment for Gogeta Blue. I think is probably the best type of equipment for Gogeta Blue if this platinum equipment does come into the game. I think out of all of them, I think this equipment is probably the best equipment because it's not only catering to what he needs, is also adding on to what he already got. What does that mean? He needed card draw speed, right? He needed early game damage, even though his damage ramps up anyway. It also gives him health restoration, which helps him with his healing when every time he comes into the battle, as well as his main ability when he heals. All in all, I think this is probably the most perfect equipment that Gogeta Blue could ever get, and if they do bring it to Dragonball Legends, I think he's arguably the top of S+ tier, or even maybe Z tier, because remember, he also has nullified cover changes 3 times. So I think this is a very powerful equipment for Gogeta Blue. And now for the last LF character is going to be Ape Vegeta. Alright, so now the final equipment, which is Ape Vegeta. A low class warrior shouldn't challenge one of the elite. Now that is from anime Dragon Ball Z episode 31, or if you want to choose the manga, it will be Dragon Ball chapter 222, if I'm correct. Hopefully I'm correct. Anyway, this is what Vegeta says to Goku before he launches the fake moon, or I forgot exactly what it's called, but the fake moon that transformed him into the Great Ape. Now, slot 1, inflicted damage 10 to 35%, base strike attack 20 to 35%, and base blast attack 20 to 35%. For gold slot, all of them you need 32.4%. Now this is ripped up from Gogeta 4. And it's good that I ripped it from him, because that's what he needs. He needs damage. One of Vegeta's problem is he doesn't have a lot of damage uniques in his kit, and not a lot of defensive uniques. His main damage source is him against blues and his ultimate damage. His ultimate damage actually does really good damage, and what makes him really damage wise is obviously you need him at a higher star clip. Like I don't even recommend 9-star. You need him at least a 12-star clip. Honestly 14-star clip. He doesn't deal that much damage, and tanking wise he doesn't tank as well, so that's why I got tossed slot 2, right? Slot 2 is base health 10 to 20%, base strike defense 20 to 35%, and base blast defense 20 to 35%. For the health is 18.4 for ghost slot, and for the double defense is 32.4. Also ripped from Gogeta 4. So yeah, now with slot 3, plus 10 to 15% to strike and blast defense per tag Vegeta clan battle member, and plus 8 to 12% per strike attack, 2 strike attack per tag same battle member, and plus 10 to 20% to Sun family. This third slot is very powerful. I'm not gonna lie. Not only it has a lot of damage, it also has a lot of pure defense. So yeah, all in all, I think this platinum equipment will make Grade 8 Vegeta probably the best right in the game. Maybe, potentially. Like, this platinum equipment is crazy because it gives him everything that he needs, right? Gives him damage, a ton of damage. It gives him not only base damage, it gives him pure damage, with the first slot giving him up to 35% to damage inflicted, as well as giving him up to 12% per tag Saiyan battle members. So even if you run him in the Vegeta clan team, let's say if you run Sora Hope Trunks, right, this Vegeta and another Vegeta, he's still gonna gain 12%, right, to strike attack. That's really good. No, not 12%, 24, I should say, to strike attack, because himself and Vegeta, and another Vegeta. That's kind of crazy, because they're saying, right? And then if you're running a Vegeta clan team, right, he's gonna gain up to a whopping 45% to pure defense. That is crazy for Vegeta, and that will make his tanking potential really strong, as well as him having endurance. So yeah, alright, with that being said, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, comment down below your thoughts on each platinum equipment, which platinum equipment is going to impact the character the most, the least, which character will be crazy after the platinum equipment. I think all these platinum equipments are very good for the characters, but in my opinion, probably Gogeta Blue will probably have the best platinum equipment. But UI Goku's platinum equipment is also really all of these are really good. But I think between UI Goku and Gogeta Blue, or even Ape Vegeta, I think they will probably make the biggest impact. So yeah, like I said, let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on the platinum equipments. Also, next week will be the part 2 of this, which will have Kid Buu, Murzamasu, Goku Black, and unfortunately both of the Gohans. But yeah, my name is Skull Royal. I'm out. Peace.